the destruction
Yeah.
and the self-destruction.
I did the Brad Scott face.
No, she wasn't ready.
There's a conspiracy happening right now.
That's good.
Boom.
This is one of the greatest tagging performances I've seen.
No one makes me bleed.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Like he was giving him marking.
The last time we saw anything like this was 20 odd years ago. I don't know if you caught up with that news, but that's pretty sizable.
I can see Willem Dersma doing some crazy things at the MCG when the game is on the line.
Bring back the taunt.
Pickett actually let him know too. And I think he was the barometer. He tackled Sam Walsh late in the game and he just went, fucking ball.
So that's the taunting that's good.
Because he's like, I'm him. The fade out needs to be studied. It reminds me of the meme of, you know, where that guy's at some point, we're all going to die.
All I can do right now is put on a brave face and go out there and be their leader.
It's over.
Who lasts longer, Brad Scott or Michael Voss? Destruction or self-destruction? We're back for another episode here, Jamo.
Footy. I love footy.
My God, what happened on Sunday? What happened yesterday?
Mate, I had the time of my life.
You're a certified hate watcher. You are.
For Carlton, yeah, but there's a little bit of backstory. In my junior years when I was a kid, I was really close with this family in primary school and they were diehard Carlton supporters. Mm. They had a minivan and a really big family and they would take us to games. So I would go to like Freo Carlton at Subiaco Oval as a kid.
Yeah.
They would quite often win the game, play the song the entire way home, and I just sat in the back of the car just like shriveled up like anxious child, really freaking out like, oh my God. And I'm feeling angry because my team lost.
Yeah.
And I think that's just like lived with me my entire life.
Yeah.
So I've got this
bad.
resentment towards Carlton and seeing them do bad makes me feel happy, but then it makes me feel like a bad person.
Yeah, but it's an interesting thing, right? Everyone's got this experience at Carlton, but the problem is they haven't won anything.
Yeah.
So could you imagine when they're actually good and they start winning premierships?
No, I can't.
No, you can't, we don't want it. But you sent me a text message immediately after the game being like, I'm so happy. And I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're an idiot. You're a Freo supporter. But I really wanted to share that because I know that you were going to tee off.
It could be
the
the best smile that I've ever produced was that photo to you, like just pure elation.
It was funny. I was just like covering the game, I had the boys over and they got off to a big start. And it was right at the time when the F1s was on and we wanted to follow our boy Oscar Piastri. Mm-hmm. So we're like, we'll keep tuning in and out. My mates were like, no, this game sucks. The Ds, they're just so casual. And I made a meme about them, you know, being so casual about it because they rocked up in casual clothes, but more on that a little later. And then I was like, you know what's great is that even though the Ds are down by 7 goals, Carlton can blow this lead and it will be hilarious.
Yep.
I mean, you can script it.
Yeah, and it was funny. There was an old lady sitting in front of us. I was at the game with Dad, and she said, "Oh no, I've seen this. Oh no, I've seen this movie before." Because they've seen this movie a million times.
It's so bad. You know what the hilarious thing is? Every single person on Instagram was like, "How do we feel, Carlton fans?
Yeah,
how are we feeling right now?" I don't even Forgotten Stars put it up as well. Be like, "How are we feeling, guys?" Because you just know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And mate, I mean, it was hilarious. And I think there was this funny thing. I think the Carter boys put it up about trying to like refresh your feed to see what Dan Gorringe posts.
Yeah.
Because he's crash out. Low key, I reckon he's probably loving this second half fade out from Carlton because it's content for him, content gold.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's loving it.
No, he's loving it.
With the negative of the loss, it's still beneficial for him,
Massive.
which is great.
Because if Carlton were just playing, you know, Sunday, technically this is the graveyard shift. And then, you know, they ended up winning by 40, 50 points. What's he going to do? We're back. We're winning the flag. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, how many times can you do that? But good way to cap off a very average round, I thought.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a really underwhelming round. Obviously, there was a couple of games which turned into something exciting.
Yeah.
But in terms of skill level, drop marks, missed goals, this is one of the worst rounds of footy I've witnessed with my eyes.
I couldn't agree anymore.
Yeah.
And I think the buys have to go. We keep saying this. Like, in which code do you see buys where like 4 or 5 teams or 4 teams sit out for like, you know, I think it was like the first 8 rounds or so? That's crazy. And you have like the prelim finalists, was that right? Prelim finalists? Like the last 4 teams.
Yep.
The final 4, as the Americans would like to say, sit out. And you don't get to see the best teams in action early in the season when, you know, everyone is just up and about, wants some footy. Instead, we get, you know, Brisbane and St Kilda, which was meant to be one of the better games. And in the first quarter was probably one of the worst quarters that we've seen.
Yeah. Now, I was kind of blessed in a way because Dad was over for the weekend. I was spending some time with him. I was actually at the races with him, so I missed a lot of that game, which in hindsight, super grateful for. It's funny, there's always a lot of hype around the Saints, and I think I was expecting them to be slightly better, but we haven't seen that yet, I don't think.
Yeah, they're shit, Sam. Cop that.
Cop
Sammy.
that.
Also, quick news with Sammy, because if there's people there wondering where the fuck is Sammy?
Yeah, wanting him back.
Yeah, he's got hamstring awareness at the moment. He's just taking a little bit of time, but he'll be back. He wants to be ready to go. So
it's one of those 3 to 4 weeks, like a mid-grade.
We did a fitness test with Sammy, and he unfortunately didn't pass. It was a bit of a Darcy Moore situation. So do we play him and see how he goes? Or do we just wait another week to get him primed, pre-gather round, ready to go? But knowing his form, he'll probably disappear after gather round.
Potentially.
After a music festival.
Potentially, yeah.
And it's all dependent. He doesn't say this, but it's all dependent on how the Saints are going, I think.
Yes.
I think if the Saints had a win the week before, he was like, yeah, boys, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
This week, it's just kind of like, just hamstrings a bit tight now, guys. But we have to go back all the way to Thursday now to when the footy started. And like you said last week, it just feels like an eternity ago.
Yeah, no, it was. And the game was really, really poor.
Again,
until
poor.
Late, and it got a bit better. But yeah, it was really wet conditions. I guess around the country, there was a lot of bad weather this weekend.
Yeah.
So
Cyclone.
Yeah.
And the west.
Wow. Yeah, well, that played a part as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit. But there was almost a cyclone down in Geelong on Thursday because it was horrendous.
Shocking. Also, like, aren't Geelong meant to have like a very loyal supporter base where they all just rock up and
Fair weather supporters.
yeah, quite literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game on Thursday night. Like, so Thursday night usually gets me amped up for the week of footy, right? So you get the weekend of footy, and I see Geelong Adelaide in the fixture, and I go, wow, this is going to be great. You got two teams, who you'd think would be at the pointy end of the season based off the previous results. And what delivered was half of football, which was pretty average.
It's funny because you text me and you were like, is it just me or is this game like kind of suck?
Yeah, does this game suck? So this is one of the very few games where I wasn't watching this in like my little studio. I was watching this in the lounge room.
Little studio is pretty humble.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk too much about the studio. That's first rule of the studio club. Don't talk about the studio.
Well, I'm kicked out. Cool. Anyway.
You're right about it. Well, I watched this game in the lounge room and I was just like taking notes on like the timestamps and I'm like, geez, there's not much happening here. There's not much at all. Like you have Geelong and they're not big celebrators as well and they're not big taunters. I mean, you can't taunt anymore.
No, they're not very like hockball, are
yeah,
they?
They're not.
Yeah.
And Adelaide just seemed to like not kind of be there. I mean, they were missing Jordan Dawson. Rochelle in the midfield, I love that. And then his celebration was sick. I didn't know what that celebration was. I'm not a big soccer fan or football fan. As the traditionalists would like to say, but he did that celebration.
He did. I would know it, but I've had a mind blank, so let's move on because I look stupid.
I haven't played enough FIFA recently. That's how I knew all these things.
Yeah, me too. Same with like flags.
Is that what it is?
Dude, I'm elite with flags.
Just because of FIFA?
Yeah, give me a nation flag. And
Ultimate Team Connections?
Yeah, Ultimate Team Connections.
The
chemistry,
green
yeah. But yeah, we'll do a flag quiz one day. And
you reckon you'd nail it?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Just because of Ultimate Team.
Just because of Ultimate Team. And there's a lot of other people who dedicated many of their teenage years to that game.
Yeah.
Silly game, which gives you just anger issues.
Oh, yeah. And probably gets you in into gambling.
Yeah, true.
I might just open this pack. I'll open this pack as well. Oh.
Yeah, the correlation I've never tied together, but maybe that's why I have a problem.
Maybe that's what it is. Anyway, I love how we go down this spiral. What were we talking about again? Thursday night football.
We're talking about the really, really shit game on Thursday. But it did. You know what actually happened?
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting, but it's worthy.
Yeah.
That umpire call actually gave the game life.
It did. Yeah, it did. It did actually. It gave something to talk about because it's funny because every Thursday night I do a little wrap up where I go, all right, this is something I learnt about. And it's usually like there'll be a couple positive things and there'll be something to be like, oh my God, what happened? And I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't need to really do one here.
No.
This game sucks. And then all of a sudden, the incident where it goes over the line and Tom Atkins goes, hey, it's my ball. I'm like, this is it. This is the talking point. I mean, Rash played really well, but that was the turning point in the game. And everyone will be like, no, they won by more than a goal, but the momentum just swung.
It
massively.
did, yeah. And the call, because in real time, I actually thought it did come off
Who was it with him? I can't remember the player that was with him.
No, we suck.
We good research, but they came off the Crows player.
Yeah, it came off the Crows player.
Yeah,
Well,
in real time.
in real time, I thought that, and then I was like, hang on, they're unhappy about it. Atkins played it off really well.
Atkins was just such an experienced campaigner. He just knew.
Yeah.
He knew what to do. Grab the ball, don't let the umpire think about it, and move on.
Move
on.
I also think it did, from memory, I think it hit both feet. I think
did.
it went one
Yeah.
to the next.
Yeah.
So I can understand why he was actually a bit confused. Do you reckon post-match when he was asked about it,
Yeah.
I genuinely believe him in thinking that he thought that it had come off the Adelaide player.
Yeah, of course. That's all. That's what he's going to say. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's going to come across as a liar.
No, but I actually
and a cheat.
genuinely believe it as well. Yeah.
I don't know. I think in that moment, the competitive side of you go, if there's a 50-50 ball, I'm claiming it as mine.
Oh, I'm
and
claiming
gonna
it
go.
if it's 30% chance.
And when in doubt, try and go as quick as you possibly. Like, that was an experienced move by Atkins, and I don't blame him for any bit. I don't call him a cheat. I don't do anything of that because you know what?
You said cheat just before.
He's a swindler.
Cheats. You said cheat.
Yeah, but I don't mean that in a
No,
bad way.
not in the dirty cheating
In the
way.
end of the day.
Yeah,
I mean, in the
clean
polite,
cheating,
yeah.
the fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So look, I'm gonna go out there and say it. Bingo. No, like as in like one of the slots we're crossing off because I genuinely believe the umpires cost Adelaide the game here.
Huge, and
They
it's not
were
the first
robbed.
time. It happens with Adelaide a lot.
They were robbed right in front of us. You know what's funny about that? Death, taxes, and the Crom guy saying we were robbed right in front of me. And it always gets a go every single year.
Yeah, well, it happens to them every few weeks. It seems.
How is this like such a Crom thing to happen?
Just a cursed club, maybe.
I can't believe that. It's just like in the last, I think 3 to 5 years, it's just a reoccurring thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, there's a Cromspiracy happening right now.
That's good.
I'm going to cross that off the bingo. I know we've been looking around for things that's happened, and I think this one I'm going to say it. I mean, you can say otherwise if you want, but I'm going to cross that one off.
Let's cross it off. The AFL came out and said that there was a mistake. Mm-hmm. So yeah, happy to cross that one off, and we're getting closer to that bingo.
We're getting closer to that bingo. And speaking of some of the mistakes, I know we didn't get a chance to cover this last week because it came out straight after we'd done the pod.
Yep.
28 seconds off the clock.
Crazy. Invisible time.
Invisible time. So I know we don't go too far back, but this is something that didn't get as much attention as I thought it would. But St Kilda played GWS, and obviously St Kilda won by 4 points last week. And the AFL came out on a Monday afternoon and just said, hey guys, we lost 28 seconds of that for whatever reason.
The timekeeper's just stuffed up, but that's all right.
It doesn't even happen at local level. And if I'm GWS, I'm fuming.
There's so much money in the sport, and like it's such a high stakes competition. A lot of people put a lot of money into it, like memberships and whatnot as well. To make a mistake of that magnitude in the biggest league of all,
My goodness.
crazy.
My goodness. But then you fast forward this week and you've got this issue. Now, I don't want to harp on this for too long, but one of the things I talked about was what's the solution for this kind of event happening? Because it's going to happen. Because there's going to be players competing and it's going to be really close and the ball's going to go over the line. What's the solution for this that you think could work?
Don't have an idea.
Glad to see you've really thought this one through, mate.
No, I haven't.
Too
thought
busy
about it
celebrating
much.
Carlton's downfall. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, and Freo's win. Woo!
Oh, yeah, we forgot about that one. That was probably the game of the round, that one.
Didn't bring my Freo gear, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I think you're the only bloke that I know who watches footy.
Yeah.
And when your team loses, you decide to rock up on a pod that you've appeared in on maybe twice.
Yeah.
in Freo's scarf. Freo's son is looking like the biggest Freo nuffy. Mind you, you lost. And then when you win, you decide to come in and be all modest.
Yeah, no, it's a strange one. I agree.
You are so weird.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I think my girlfriend says it's the charm of me. You're so strange that that's why I kind of like you.
Another thing I noticed during this week, and not just this game, was umpires going to the score review quite often.
Yep.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, are goal umpires using the ARC like regular people using ChatGPT? So when it's available, you just go to it every time for every task.
Yeah.
Are goal umpires doing the same thing just because it's available and it's taken away from that craft of what they're... We may as well have robots umpiring.
there doesn't need to be goal umpires anymore.
Well, if they're going to continue to do this, they're going to, it's putting the nail in the coffin. I think is like you've got to back your judgment. There should be maybe a limit on how many times they could go to the arc.
True, but then imagine they've used it all and then there's a really contentious
Well, that's
decision.
on the umpire. I think that becomes that's on the umpire because still upstairs they can do it. Like if it's really, really bad, they can do it.
You know what I noticed? David Roden, who's my favourite goal umpire, just commanding, smiles, like makes it happen. He's usually really decisive with his decision making and he's, goal, point. But he's been starting to do a few of the throwing it up to the third umpire, I think.
Has he?
He has.
I wonder if that's an instruction because I know he's assertive.
Yep.
Now, the question I have with this is that takes up quite a while, and come back to the Tom Atkins because we love to talk about this, is that, if they say they review the ones that go out of bounds.
Yeah.
Now, the reason they couldn't review the Tom Atkins ones, and they're not going to say this, is because he took it really quickly. Now, Port Adelaide played West Coast and Cooper Duff Tytler. I didn't know his name was Tytler.
Yeah, everyone's just lazy.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Could be a silent T. But anyway, the ball went out of bounds. There's not long left in that game. And because he's a young player, he just waits. He just waits. So they reviewed it and they're like, look, they're going to throw it in.
I did see that.
And it took some time. Now, if I'm a coach, I'm saying if the ball's there and people generally moving to the direction where it's like, oh, it's your ball, just go. Just move it on straight away. Get on with it straight away.
And then all the umpires are going to do is maybe bring it back or
they
just
won't
let
bring
it
it
go.
back because it's too much pressure because in a tense situation, the umpires are under pressure as well.
Yeah.
I don't think the message from upstairs can come quick enough for them to pull it back in time. So, for example, let's have a look at that Tom Atkins one. They probably got something, if the ARC was looking at it, they probably got something in the air by the time Jack Martin had kicked that goal.
True.
And then the question marks come over. The technology is just not there for it to happen.
What I'm thinking is you should be employed by the teams as some like assistant coach to feed them these little just go. Because now that you've said it, teams will do it and they're going to break the system and there's going to be more rule changes and it's all because of you. So
it's all because of me.
But that's cool. We're making change here. Typecast.
At Typecast, we're encouraging little loopholes in the rule. And I think the best, I know I asked you the solution and you gave me nothing.
Yeah, no, well, I hadn't had much time to think about it. I had a busy weekend.
A massive weekend. But I think the best, for the umpires, the most common sense approach for this would be just throw the ball in. When in doubt, throw the ball in. We've done it for so long now. Don't worry about this.
I love it.
Don't worry about the lasso rule.
You know what's funny? When the boundary umpires, sometimes they run side to side.
Yeah.
Like when they go side to side and they're doing it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm going to challenge Will Taylor, friend of the pod, and he loves his moves. He does his cricket fielding moves. He does his
boundary umpire moves.
Boundary umpire moves, or not
or
boundary
field umpire. Just
AFL umpire
moves.
moves, like holding the ball, if you can try and do the signals at a rave, how would they look? I'm putting it out there for Willie T.
Yeah.
Please make it happen, brother. We love it.
I actually want to be behind the camera.
I want to see that. We're putting it out there. I'm going to send it out to him. See, hopefully he's a listener of the pod.
If not,
we'll send it through to him anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's move on from the umpire chat because I'd get really worked up about that.
Yeah,
and then
let's go to Friday night.
Let's go to Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, how good was Friday night?
It was all right.
I was Dacos glazing.
Yeah, Dacos is a freak. Seeing it live in the flesh was good. It was awesome to watch him and his brother Josh, who barely played the first quarter.
No, just didn't rock up.
Just light it up.
Yeah.
And their work rate, because I've driven past their training ground a few times and just watching them run laps all preseason.
Yeah.
And then just seeing it live in the flesh, like the fruits of their labor, is pretty cool.
I'm looking at this run sheet and I have not seen this, and I'm like, are you having a dig? Are you having a dig at Collingwood not travelling? Are you doing that as well?
Of course I am.
Here we go.
Okay, well,
far away.
Should Collingwood have played at the MCG this round? I still think yes.
We had one game at the MCG this round. How is that even we should have two?
Yeah, no,
minimum.
Your game should have been at the MCG.
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I went to the game. It was actually my first time at Marvel, and I was surprised that it wasn't packed out.
Yeah.
I think there was 45 or something.
That's pretty good though. That's probably the biggest crowd that, as a Freo set fan, you've seen, right?
No, we have huge crowds back
Do you get
home.
huge crowds?
Yeah.
I thought West Coast gets big
West
crowd.
Coast get good crowds too, but we're on par at the moment. I'd say they're slightly above because bigger fan base,
Yeah,
whatever.
you're all hipsters, just
Yeah, no, but we rock up.
washing at those craft beer bars.
Actually, I'm gonna fuck that. I'm defending my club.
yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
My club,
Okay.
we do show up in numbers, and on the weekend it was a freakish weather event. So
Yeah, okay, Cyclone. That never happened.
Anyway, Marvel
Yeah, okay.
Stadium
Yeah.
was a library on Friday night. It
Yeah.
was quiet as. Now, maybe this is because it's not an open air stadium. It's my first time there. I don't have a big sample size, but it was very quiet. That you could just hear everyone talking beside you. It was really
Yeah.
strange. And yeah, even the Pies fans would get up and about, but it was almost like they knew that they were going to win. So it was like, oh, that's all
Yeah.
right. It's just a nothing game.
Damn straight we did.
Yeah, and I was thinking maybe they're just a bit like tired from the travel from the MCG to Marvel.
Look at this comedian over here. Comedian. Oh, you know who else made fun of us wanting, like, having to travel?
Spit it out.
GWS social media team.
Yeah.
My boy Paddy. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Anyway, he had a crack, and we're in a group chat as well. So it's like, it's all love for Paddy.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw the batter. Funny, very funny, give him that. But when you poke the bear, he'll kick six on you. that was a Kenny Hinkley callback. Anyway, but
I think we're the only two
we're
that,
the only
that
one
know
that
that one.
That's all right. People understand. People will get it.
Yeah.
But when you be careful when you poke the bear, because I just knew that when you do shit like that with Collingwood, that we respond. And I just think GWS, just stick to your rivalry with Sydney. You don't have a rivalry with us. You know, we beat you guys in 2023 in the prelim final and then went on to win the flag. You're a little bit decimated at the moment. Just worry about getting into that wild card spot at the moment. I know I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible, but when that shit comes up, and
Yeah,
then
it seems
I had
it.
that. Yeah. Look, to be honest, I have a lot of respect for the Giants. They do a great job, but like that stuff, like your club's, it's struggling a little bit at the moment with injuries and stuff. You don't need a bit more of a target. I just say just chill with this one.
What you reckon? Do the boring banners like the rest of the teams?
I mean, that's a good one. We'll talk about the banners, but I mean, do Essendon where we just said, we are Essendon.
Yeah.
That's a team that knows they're in the shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know what? This is all we can do.
Because they're thinking if we put out a funny banner and
Yeah.
it bites us in the ass, it's going to be even worse than just losing.
Well, that's such an Essendon thing, right? Where
Yeah.
they're like, they know that their supporters will come at them hard. GWS, they're trying to still figure out the identity
Yeah.
of their supporters.
Well, they're still trying to find them.
Yeah, where are you? I think they've gone with this comedic approach and it's worked well for them.
Yeah.
And like I've said in a previous podcast, is like Jacob Gaynor's just lit this fire and now it's their identity where they're like the trolls.
Yeah.
So they like, I feel like there's a little bit of pressure to stick to that. I mean, you can still be funny. Just, you get ready for the smoke.
Yeah.
And Dacos, I was so happy that happened because it was so good for an edit. And I felt like I did the best edit I've done all year purely because of that. Just played into the narrative.
Yeah.
Bit of Dacos glaze on that.
Plus, you've got passion.
Bit of salt.
You got passion when you do it.
Bit of Salt
Yeah.
Bay in there as well.
Yeah.
It is passion. So I was working on that edit throughout the whole game because everyone goes, how do you do it so quickly? But you kind of have to anticipate. And like, this wasn't a Carlton choke job, even though you can probably anticipate that.
Yeah.
You kind of know from the get-go that GWS didn't look like they were going to win that game.
No. The skills were just appalling. Like drop marks, missed kicks, missed handballs. The
Yeah.
players missing their own hands with the handball.
Poor
Like,
Friday night game from a neutral perspective.
yeah, it was poor, but it was
Yeah.
more of like the excitement of just taking dad somewhere we've never been before. And yeah, it was a good night for us, despite the average result. Like,
Yeah.
it could have been better, but you would have been thrilled with a 5-goal win.
Oh, I was stoked. I always find that when you win on a Friday and you've got your whole weekend, it just sets the mood. Do you think Nick Dacos gets 3 votes this game? You were there at the game.
Yep.
Had the knocks out?
Yeah, had the knocks out.
Yep.
They're in my buy sell hold too. So
Oh, hopefully not selling because I loved them. We love the
Um,
knocks. We love the knocks.
yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah.
And I've
Knock.
got, knock knock, I'm here. But no, like I got a lot of feedback on them.
Yeah.
And let's talk about it more later.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
Let's
dropped
leave it
gun,
for
haven't
now.
I? Okay.
Because they were used extensively all weekend.
I'm hopefully to look at Dacos, watch
Yeah,
his running
for
patterns
sure.
and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I would be doing.
It was actually hard to keep up with Dacos. He's that
Dacos
quick.
glaze. Every time that happens, I'll just be like, Dacos glaze. I'll call myself out on it. It is.
But yeah, no, it was average game.
Look, I was watching and I think, look, I understand there's a bit of Dacos glaze happening right here. Right here. I get it.
I said he's winning the Brownlow by 6 votes.
You did.
So
you did.
That's a bit of
I
glaze.
think Bontempelli's still the best player in the competition.
Yeah.
I think Nick and Bont are 1 and 2, and then it's daylight.
Yeah.
Because we saw, like, I thought Naz could possibly get it there, but, like, he can't even handle a tag.
Yeah.
And, like, no disrespect, he'll probably get there, but I don't think there's anyone close. Max Gawn is really, I feel like, is very close. He had a big weekend.
What a game he had.
He had, but I think Nick and Marcus are 1 and 2, respectively.
And that's completely fair. I
You think
agree.
so?
Yeah.
Who do you think is, like, knocking on the door for 1 and 2? That
You put me on the spot here. How about
Zach
we make
Butters?
a list for next week?
we'll do that next week.
Butters is in the next one down.
Down that.
But he's still a superstar.
But
yeah.
one thing I learned from that Friday night game is that every time I watch Bont and Nick Dacos, I just know that they are so influential for their side
Yeah.
that you take them out, you take Bont out of the Bulldog side. Yeah, they're still a good side because they've got a lot of good players, but I just don't think they have that ability to compete at the highest level. And Collingwood, I feel like you take Nick Dacos out, stops being competitive.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And people go, doesn't win contested possessions. That's not his role. That's not his job. So
But he still can as well.
he still can if
Yeah.
he needed to, but I just like we said before, his role there is to be that link-up player, and he hits the scoreboard. Dacos glaze. But I think 1 and 2, I know Bont didn't play this weekend, but I can't wait to see Bulldogs versus. I know they don't go head-to-head and they're completely different players, but seeing 2 superstars at work is just like,
Yeah.
love football.
It's the right food
Yeah.
for your tummy. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of AFL banners, there were some really good AFL banners this week. I think the GWS one was good, but they weren't ready for the smoke. Port Adelaide, that was very funny.
What was it?
It was about West Coast waking up in the morning.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Because it was 9:30 or 10 a.m. start
Yeah,
or something.
and they weren't ready for the smoke either.
Yeah.
And you know what? Essendon just forfeited the game before they even started. They said, "We are Essendon," and that was it. To the greatest game we've ever seen. I'm talking shit, but the St Kilda bloody Brisbane game put us to sleep in that first quarter because there were some of the misses. Oh my god!
Yeah, really bad.
I saw Keith Coleman miss one from like the snap that didn't make the distance.
Yeah, I had to re-watch this game really like reluctantly.
Yeah.
Again, was hanging out with Dad doing things, and then
You get
sounds strange. I just needed to use more context.
Did you
and more
use your
words.
binoculars while you're sitting on the couch? You're like, Dad, look.
No, so Friday footy, Saturday
Yeah.
we're at the races.
Yeah.
Did use the binoculars. That went
Yeah.
on the story as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Actually,
that's
follow
good,
me
that's
at
good.
at
Yeah.
Jamie Lennon on Instagram to keep up with all your Noc stuff. Also,
Knock.
here's a sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for my own pair of
Yeah, so am I.
binoculars.
I'm on board as well.
Hashtag Nocs.
Yeah. Any companies out there,
Yep.
we're ready to pump it up.
We're going to promote.
We're going to
the
bring it
shit out of
back.
those.
Were they ever here? We don't know.
Yeah. Well, they
But-
were just in minor amounts.
Yeah, and a different demographic.
Yeah. You know what is
Yeah.
actually a fun game to play?
What?
It's not very fun, but it's a game to play if
Yeah.
you're bored. Like, where's Wally? But find the bloke with the binocs.
True.
Actually, not bloke. Find the person with the binocs.
Find the person with the knocks. Whoever's got knocks, you send us a photo and be like, knocks out.
Knock, knock. Where are you?
Knock, knock. Where are you? We love it. Anyone, even if you take binoculars to the footy, we love it. We want to promote it.
Yep.
We think it's the best way to watch footy. You know, 8K, as you would say.
It is in 8K.
8K.
Trust me.
I mean, like I said, I keep bringing it back to this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got a lot to say about binoculars. We'll
Yep.
get to that. But let's talk about the St Kilda Brisbane game where Jared Berry it was a Jared Berry and Naz battle, and that's what it was.
Yeah, and it was popcorn because they're like, Barry's a good tagger.
Very good.
I don't
tagger.
think he does it as often as they could probably use him in that role. But did a decent job, and then they flicked that off. They took it away.
Berry had the most possessions for Brisbane. Did you know that?
Yes.
He was one of those like offensive taggers.
That is something I do know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, when they actually took away the tag,
Yeah.
they started to perform.
They played a lot better. They
Yeah.
did. I think with Naz, so interesting. I'm not a fan of the kickouts being counted as a disposal. There was a lot of behinds in this game. I think Brisbane kicked 7 behinds in their first
Do you have
quarter.
him in your super coach?
I don't have him in my super coach.
Yeah.
Nah, the only reason was because I didn't think he was going to be playing as that, kick behind
Yeah.
player. And I thought he was
as
going to miss
Ross
out.
said, just go wherever you
wherever
want.
he wants. But
Do what you want,
I,
Naz.
I just cannot stand a player that just gets those easy touches. And by the end of the day, it's like, oh, he's had 28.
Yeah, but it's like
10 of
12,
them.
yeah.
10. You're not looking at, it's not 50%, but all of those are like sometimes kick outs. And then I don't think I'm not playing down it's important to have those kickouts.
Yeah.
But how impactful are they in setting up goals? And because sometimes kickouts will go little short chip to the side, because that's what Naz does. He'll hit the little short chip and he'll try and get the hands off again.
Yeah.
And teams are onto it. And I think when he's having a bad game, sometimes his stats are inflated because he'll do this, and it's a way of Ross getting him into the game, and it doesn't work so well, and it's to the detriment of the team.
Yeah. Saints just aren't that good.
I don't think Saints are good. I think they need almost another Naz in that team because it's just too predictable. Tag him out of the game, you win the footy.
Yep.
You win the footy, you win the game.
For sure.
But it got me thinking, who are the best 3 taggers in the league at the moment?
Yeah. So I've made a little list.
Yes, love it.
But I've got 5 on the list, but we can make it 3.
Yeah.
Or if you've got any more, add them in. Oisin Mullen,
Yeah.
Geelong. He's done some incredible jobs on Dacos. Recent weeks, he's done some really good jobs as well. And he completely shuts people out of games. I'm not saying he's the greatest footballer of all time. I'm just saying he can negate a player like not many others can. I've also got James Jordan there, not for recent times.
Yeah,
but
he was. Yeah, he had that.
the last few years, I'd say, without recent times. But he was doing it virtually every week at one stage. Bedford as well from GWS,
Bedford,
but he's not playing at the moment.
Yeah.
And then
Puts him to sleep. Snooze.
These were
That's what
like
it
my
is.
4 and 5.
Yeah.
Windhager and Dunkley. So Windhager did it a lot last year and the year
Windhager.
before. Yep. And was doing it effectively. And he's a big body, good tank as well.
Massive tank. Yeah.
And
Rooster.
yeah. And then Dunkley can get his own ball. He'll tackle you. He'll get
Most underrated player in the competition. That's a good list by you.
Thank
but
you.
I reckon
Any to add?
you're missing one.
Yep.
You're missing one. I would agree with Oisin Mullen. If you know that you're playing against Mullen, you may as well just be
Pack
like,
it
hey,
up. Yeah.
pack it up. Lock yourself in your room and be like, I'm
Or
not
just
leaving.
sit down cross-legged in the forward pocket
Yeah.
and just hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Hope the ball falls in your lap because that's the only way you're touching it.
Yeah.
Seriously. He's a gun. Mark O'Connor's also very, very good
True.
when he was playing. Yeah, I would say Windhager is exciting. I know Perryman is not necessarily a tagger, but the job that he did on Naz and someone who can play. What I always get nervous about is when taggers get taken down into deep defence and someone like a Naz can go, all right, I'm taking you here. And Tholstrup did a great job when he played on him.
He's an honourable mention. Yeah.
But still, Naz kicked 3
Yeah.
that game. So the one that I think you're missing, he's a new boy. He's a Roo boy. It's Finn O'Sullivan.
Oh, that's really poor from me.
Yeah, very poor from me.
Because on the weekend, I was watching the game thinking, this is one of the greatest tagging performances I've seen.
One of the best I've ever seen. And the big fella was just like, yep, I'm taking Zach.
Yeah.
I'm taking him here. And it won him the game because Zach Merritt absolutely carves North Melbourne up. Every time he sees the fixture, he goes, yep, it's the Bob Sacamano coming up. 3:30, Bob Sacamano, shout out to you. But 3:30, you lock that in. I was thinking, yeah, this is it. But you know what, Finn? He just said, I've got ya.
And he was having impact himself.
Yeah.
He had heaps of the ball and he was involved in a lot of those chains that we talk about. And let me retract what I said before and let's add him in there. And we'll take Bedford out because he hasn't been playing.
I like Bedford in there. I don't, maybe take out.
We'll take Jordan because he hasn't. Yeah, okay. Let's
Jordan's
do
one.
that. So let's go, Mullen, O'Sullivan, Bedford.
Yeah, they're 3. I think Bedford's a gun. The reason they call him Snooze is that, and he just does the
Because
whole.
he puts him to sleep.
Puts him to sleep. We love that, and we love taggers too. I like taggers making a comeback.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, like Kane Corns, don't hide it. You're a tagger.
Yep.
You know, Ed Kerno, they're all loving it. They're just going. We love it.
Yeah.
We love a good tagger. Finn McGuinness. I don't know if he's still on the list. He was also another one that popped to mind in terms of he stopped Dacos when he was on an absolute tear and. Hawthorn actually knocked off Collingwood when the Hock ball was really starting. That was on the back of Finn McGuinness just shutting down Dacos, emptying out his pockets and going, here's Dacos. Not many players have that scalp.
So if another team, like a bottom scraping team needs a tagger, Finn McGuinness is there.
So is he not on a list?
I think he's still in the
He's
Hawks
still on a
list.
list. It's hard to find a way into the team when you're a specialist tagger.
Yeah, for sure.
There was I don't want to talk about this too long, but there was a funny thing where it's like Finn McGuinness will continue to keep getting a contract extension while Dacos is still in the league.
Yeah.
And they will play him for that one game.
I'd actually love to see them go head to head one more time.
Yeah.
Just to see if Dacos is like added that string to his bow.
Definitely
where he can
has, I
break
think.
the-
Yeah. He looks stronger. He looks bigger. But yeah, we love taggers. We love taggers. Don't get rid of them. It's one part of the game that we just don't want extinct.
for sure.
Yeah. So let the boys play.
Let them play.
Let them play.
Saturday night.
No,
Or
no. Saturday afternoon.
Saturday
mate.
afternoon,
Saturday
yeah,
afternoon.
yeah.
Probably the Cyclone game that wasn't a Cyclone. Instead, it was a snooze fest.
Yeah, it was. And the reason I'm not wearing my Freo gear today is because the nature in which we won was a little bit embarrassing. 25 behinds is really, really poor. So, yeah, it was more of like a protest of let's get the goal kicking right before I wear the gear again. And just to touch on the game from yesterday at the G, I had an American family behind us who were at their first ever AFL game.
Yeah,
and
right.
they had someone with them who was helping them with all the rules and stuff.
Understand, yeah. Are you sure
And-
they weren't famous?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Right.
No disrespect to them, but no, I don't think so. Just, yeah, the normal family. And they were really, really invested in figuring out the rules. And they made a really funny point, which is hard for people who aren't from Australia to understand, is that no one cheers when a behind is scored. When a point scored, no one cheers.
Yeah.
But the score goes up, right? It's adding to your total, albeit 6 times less than,
Yeah, I think
But-
that's the reason why.
Yeah.
but
5 times less? 6 times less.
It's 6 times less.
Yeah,
6
sorry.
times 1 is 6.
It's
Come
poor,
on,
poor
Jamo.
maths, I know.
Yeah. Quick maths.
Yeah, but you get 5 more points.
Yeah, but it's 6 times 1.
Yeah, true.
6 times
Yeah.
the amount.
Okay. Anyway, bloody math lesson over here. But yeah, the dad of the family was saying it's really weird that they're not like celebrating a point because point by point Melbourne were like catching up a bit and then they ended up smacking them. But anyway, that's just a funny little. Yeah, cut it. Let's cut that story because it's shit.
No, I like
Yeah.
it. I find it funny that you found that hilarious.
No, I wasn't. Like,
It's an
hilarious.
interesting
It was-
one though because
Yeah.
Don't you understand that? Would you would much rather 6 points?
Yeah, you
and
would,
it's
but-
that.
But you're still scoring for your team, so they celebrate things.
Yeah,
So,
but this is the thing. You're aiming to kick 6,
yeah.
and then you end up with 1.
Yeah. Well, then there's the other point of why in our sport are you rewarded for missing?
You get a point. It's not. It's just more of like a consolation. It's like a participation.
Yeah,
it's like
but
well done. Thanks
aren't
for trying.
we past that though? Like
Yeah.
that's childish. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
I like points. I do. I'm just like being devil's advocate here.
So what's the maximum you can get from a field goal? 3,
Yeah.
right? So it's not like they can automatically just go, no, we're not going for field goal. We're going to go for a touchdown. Like, you're set up for this.
Yeah.
So the kicker is there and goes, yep, 3 is the maximum. So when a player lines up for a set shot, 6 points is the one you go, yep, that's what we want.
Yeah.
This is the lesser. I've seen some people go, yeah, nice try. Like, that's all right. Like when it's like outside 50, you're like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't think we need to cheer a point.
No, I don't think we do either.
And I don't think it's that interesting either.
Yeah, no, that's right. I just thought like
I could just imagine you in that game just there, these Americans sitting behind you, like, you know what? I think they're onto something.
yeah, and then I start cheering it for the rest of the game.
All of a sudden, you get Harry Mackay is just the most loved player ever because
Yeah.
he just kicks all these behinds.
But back to Freo Richmond. Yeah, you've got here.
let's move on from that game because it sucked.
What does EMO stand
Emo.
for? Yeah.
Emo, baby. Emo Brad Scott. What a week for Brad Scott, right? He said at one point, he's like, we don't coach forever. We're all going to die at some point. And then, like, after the second goal's kicked, he's just like, his mouth is wide open in the box. And he's just like, it's almost like he's just seen his life flash before him.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It was a bad decision. Why he had his mouth open was for good reason.
yeah, I don't know why they didn't call the play back.
Yeah.
which is one thing that's forgotten through the whole thing, but it just fit the whole context of what
It was
Scott's
perfect.
been going through.
It was the perfect meme for an imperfect game.
It was a very average game, and I think the best thing that came out of this game was the merit tag that Fino Sullivan, and that's when you know the game's
Dire.
gone a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, is when you get around the guy that's tagging him. Like Fino Sullivan did an amazing job. I heard on Triple M, Stevie J said this, and Stevie J, I don't know how much he's heard from this, and like who would have told him this story? He said that Zach Merritt sat in the change rooms after everyone had left, full kit on, just looked a shell of himself.
Oh, that's if true. Really, really sad.
I think that's more on the fact, and they were saying this, that's more on the fact that he doesn't resent the club. It's more on the fact that that was one of his worst games that he's played.
That's true. Yeah.
And
he was locked up.
Yeah, that's a massive tick to Finn. If Finn hearing that story would be like, I'm so far in his head. I've just dominated him. I can't wait to play him the next time. Also, I can't wait to see that battle because Zach Merritt took that personally.
He did.
He took that personally. But there was another thing that happened during this game.
The worst thing that came from the game.
The worst thing that came from the game. It wasn't Zach Merritt sitting in the bench, sitting in the rooms by himself, sulking. It was the X-Man.
Yeah, the X-Man doing a little dirty dog act.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw it, I did the Brad Scott face. I wish I didn't do that, but I was like the clowns at like a show.
Yeah,
they move their head,
mate. It was weird because I was watching that game and I saw him do it, and I saw the big X-Man he's passionate.
Yeah, he does.
I would say he never crosses the line.
No.
You know, he tackles with a bit of force. As a coach, you go, it's everything I want as a tone setter.
You know what I saw during the week? Chom and X at training going at each other. And this is after
Tensions building.
After Chom whacked Reed. And then the following week, X does this.
Yeah.
Just tone it back.
Nah, Clarko's like, I want more, boys.
I want more.
I want blood. And then X is like, you want blood? You want blood? It's like, no, Tristan.
It was like he was giving him markings.
You can't. And it was weird, but it was funny because Joey Lopez, friend of the pod, love it. He posted this thing and it was in my mind. He's like, no one makes me bleed. Dodgeball. At Globo Gym, we're better than you and we know it. Yeah. And that's kind of what it reminded me of. And he was quick to post that. And I'll probably post that again, but give him a shout out. That was brilliant. The Lion King, I had a message from someone saying The Lion King. What got me was, and this is the footy world, nothing gets past the footy world. Nothing gets past the footy world. And when I say nothing gets past the footy world, nothing. And post-game, someone did a lip read on Tristan Xerri, and it looks very accurate.
It was real. You showed me this before.
And I'll put it up there, and he goes, yeah, fuck, I did it. That's what he said. He goes, yeah, I did it. I'm probably going to miss a bounce or two. First of all, Tristan, there's no bounce anymore. So get that right, mate. And yeah, you probably... Mitch Cleary reported that he's going to be away for a long, long time. And when Mitch does a Mitch bomb, there's some merit to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exact to it.
I actually messaged Mitch and I'm like, can we give you a call and find out a little bit about what you meant about it? So if you don't mind, I'm going to call Mitchell.
I do mind.
Yeah.
Joking.
What do you think about it before? First of all, what should I ask him about this?
That's tough. But when I saw it, I felt like it was really wrong. Like
it felt
morally, it was yuck.
Wiping blood. It's
Plus, and I'm not saying he's got anything, but imagine if he's carrying something.
Yeah, which he's not going to be. But I think it's stupid, it's just right.
In some countries, it would be it's probably against Australian law to wipe blood on someone. I think it's a dirty, yucky thing.
It's gross, man. It's so gross.
Yeah, and I know he was wound up, but it's no excuse for that act.
No excuse to do it. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. You don't do that. It's terrible. But anyway, let's find out with Mitch. The Mitch bomb.
I wonder if I'll talk on this.
Yeah, do you want to ask him a question?
I've got a good one.
Yeah, hopefully he picks up. Hopefully he does. He might screen my call here.
That's all right.
This is a fair few ring. I've been screened.
We might have to.
No, that's all right. I'm putting that. I'm leaving that on the pod. Thanks, Mitchell. Really, really, really appreciate that.
Maybe he'll get us back.
I did tell you it was after 9:30 that I'd be with a buzz. I'm like, give us a buzz back when you are ready, mate.
I saw with my eyes.
With the binoculars?
Yeah, I had the binoculars when I was sitting at home and I saw a smidgen of blood. Like the faint, when you're doing Photoshop and there's the opacity thing and you drag it down to it's like 10% or whatever and you can see a faint, it was a faint line.
Yeah.
It was there.
I don't know what type of 8K TV that you have, but I didn't see blood. But that's also because I bought him in.
TCL, shout out TCL.
TCL, shout out. Yeah, if you're listening TCL, we ready. We need that sponsor, baby.
We need more TVs in here.
We got to stop Jamo using binoculars when he's sitting on his couch because it makes no sense.
Yeah, but then we're going to lose the binocular sponsor.
Yeah, no. We'll get the TCL sponsor. That's it. TCL, if you're out there listening, there it is. Anyway, I reckon he probably cops. I would like to think that he only cops 2 weeks, but I think he could probably cop more because I bought him in Supercoach. He had a massive, almost 200 game Supercoach game. And for selfish reasons, I would just say, hey, Tristan, just, maybe a week or two to rest.
Yeah.
Then come back in. But that's hopeful. I think he probably cops 3.
When I saw it, my instinct said 1 week. Thinking about it more, 2 to 3.
Mitchell. What's happening, mate? Honestly, I've tried to call you a couple of times here and I look like an absolute fool on the potty, but that's all right. We move on. Yeah, we're live. No, we can cut this out whenever we need, mate. How are we? How's things? So we were just talking about the North Melbourne game and we saw the Mitch bomb that you left, which is basically that Tristan Xerri might be out for quite some time. And then me and Jamo, I don't know if you've seen Jamo. Jamo, say g'day to Mitch.
G'day, Mitch. Cheat said I'm allowed to ask you one question, and my question was, how are you today? But he's already used it.
I've already used it. I've already used that up. So, stay quiet there, Jamo. It's all good.
Yeah, no worries.
So we just want to know how Tristan, like, what do you think about the whole situation? How many weeks on the sidelines do you expect?
Well, it's so unique, isn't it? The last time we saw anything like this was 20-odd years ago. Nathan Buckley on Cameron Ling. That was head to jumper. This is hand to nose to face, and it's 20 years on. I think, personally, you double the Buckley one, and then you double it again because of so you double it for the face, and you double it for the time.
Quadruple.
I think he's looking at around
4 weeks.
So, yeah. I'd be shocked if it was anything outside that 3 to 5 range tonight at the tribunal. So rare, though, because when they drop the MRO, we talk about strikes and bumps. Typically, you can see an incident and think, oh, that's going to be this, that's going to be that. But this is so unique that there's no exact framework or guidelines to it. So it's really going to be in the hands of the 3 tribunal members come tonight. So it's such a rare occurrence.
Jamo's got a question here. What have you got here, Jamo?
Yeah, what do you think Xerri's defence will use to try and, reduce the sentence?
Great question. I reckon everyone's sort of arguing, and you just check my Twitter notifications, and every North Melbourne fan under the sun is arguing that there wasn't actually that much blood. But the fact that he's apologised, I've heard teammates of his say that he's acknowledged he's made a mistake. I think he's just got to fall on his sword and just be, contrite and own up to it from the start. That might be his best chance of, playing the good character card. It's important to remember that the good character doesn't really stand up at the tribunal, but it can't hurt when you're trying to reduce your sentence.
If he had a basketball background, that would definitely help, hey, with his character reference.
I could not believe that when I was on the Scott Pendlebury tribunal case that they trotted that out. But, hey, who knows? He might have some sort of volleyball history or squash background that they might be able to draw on.
I'm interested to see the live updates. And, I mean, the North fans, they'd be spewing because you got Carlton on the ropes here. Xerri versus Pitnet would be a battle and would be great. But, yeah, it's disappointing. Did you see the Reddit video of someone lip-reading Tristan Xerri after the game?
No, I didn't. Can you enlighten me? Because some of the Reddit users, they bring out some cool, unique stuff.
Very, very interesting. And I can flick this over to you. And I really don't want to put Tristan Xerri under the pump here. But basically, what happens is he's there standing, he's speaking to I think Callum Coleman-Jones, and he said, "Yep, I did it. I did it. I wiped it." And then they're basically asking about it, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm fucked." And then he goes, I'll probably miss a bounce or two. Now, a couple things wrong here. We said there's no bounce here in Tristan, but he will definitely miss. He knows it as well. You can tell by his face, and he's like, and he played a pretty shit game as well. Like, I bought him in Supercoach. I know this probably you don't care about this, but yeah, he had a pretty average game. So a bit disappointed about that part for Tristan.
No, I care about everyone's Supercoach. So just let me know your thoughts and feelings, and that's the one thing that we all love. But the other thing too, which I found interesting, Dale Thomas actually pointed this out, and we found the behind the goals vision. So the incident happens, he actually runs up to the umpire to alert the umpire that his nose is bleeding, but the umpires can't stop play until there's a boundary throw in or a stoppage or a score. But because the ball stayed live in that whole period, Xerri actually takes the mark on the receiving end of that same chain. He kicks the goal. What happens. And then he actually stays and goes to the next centre ball up. So interestingly that he had told the umpire, then the goal happens, then the incident with McGrath happens, then he takes the next ball up. I'm surprised why after the goal he didn't just run off with the blood rule. He could have actually taken this whole incident out of his own hands.
Mate, the ruckman, they don't think too much. And this is after the week of trying to punch on with Chom. He tried to punch on with Chom during the week. So I don't know what Clarko's saying out there, but they're definitely playing with the edge. We'll move on from that, and we'll just want to ask you, you dropped the bomb of Kylie Minogue being the grand final act. So that's going to be huge.
I'm stunned because I, for a long time, had thought that Kylie would only play twilight or night grand final. But they've gone afternoon, and she says she's in. She's a Melbourne girl. She wants to light up the MCG. I reckon this will be great. Not that I venture out all that often these days, but when I do, you still hear Kylie bangers from years
massive.
gone, being played at bars and that sort of thing. So I think she spans a lot of generations.
Yep. We can see the supporters with the lasso doing the little lasso rule. You know how they do the little I don't know how to even say it. The lasso symbol sign with her singing "I'm spinning around." Yeah, with that going on, that could be the move.
Yeah,
I'd love to see you do it. Yeah, Channel 7, Bear will get onto it, post that on 7, and that'll go viral.
He's a good man, Bear. I did enjoy your podcast with him last week.
Very, very good man. Give that a plug as well. He'll love it.
This is the earliest they've actually locked in the grand final entertainment. So, yes, we've got the Arvo time slot for 2 more years, but usually this is a June, July, even August debate around the entertainment. So that's how important Kylie is. They've gone
early.
We're still, yeah. So...
Yeah, massive. It's all about the money. We love it. Dill's reached into his pocket, which is great. But hopefully there's a few more surprises for us and pleasant surprises for us when it comes to grand final day as well. But appreciate your time, Mitch.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Sorry,
Cheers,
I was
Mitch.
hard to get
I was like, this is going great. But I'm like, I'm going to give our boy Mitch a call, and it rang through, and I was like, oh, he's a busy man. That's great.
Freeman shot today as well. I don't know if you caught up with that news, but that's pretty sizable.
Wow, Desi Freeman got caught
and shot.
And shot. Jesus,
breaking news: Mitch Cleary.
Oh wow, we'll have to look at that. That's crazy. Everyone was saying that he was dead, and then there you go.
Voss on 7 News, so
right.
that'll be.
We'll jump on that.
Wow.
All right.
Tristan Xerri will be the happiest man in Australia because he's gone from the front page to probably page 15 now.
Appreciate that, Mitch. That's crazy. That's massive news. We'll jump on that after, but we got to move on. Thanks for that, Mitch.
See you, boys.
Have a good one, mate.
Yeah,
Bye.
good man, Mitch.
I mean, the Tristan Xerri news is massive.
Yeah.
But like that's
the Desi thing means nothing to our show.
To our show. I mean, all the people there. There you go, Desi. It's kind of like when John Cena announced that Osama bin Laden had been captured on a wrestling show. Well, there it is. Breaking news. Desi has been found and shot. But yeah, Tristan Xerri, I think that's an interesting point that he made about the behind the goals vision where he was trying to say that, yep, I need to get off. Because, yeah, it's also a bit strange why he would bring attention to that. Because if you're bleeding, wouldn't you try and cover it up, stay on the ground? Like, why are you trying to get off the ground?
I think from my understanding of seeing the same footage is he was telling the umpires, hey, I've just been struck off the ball high. Where's my free kick?
That's probably it.
Why didn't the umpires see the blood and go, hey, mate, you got to go off?
Yeah, no excuse for what he did because he's in control of all his behaviour. But no, it's good. Good, Mitch. I'm glad he called and he gave us some good insight.
He gave us a lot there, which I really appreciate.
We'd love to have him on the podcast someday as well. So maybe that's something in the works that we'll have. But until then, it's time to move on to the rebuild review.
We need a sting. We got to make a sting.
We need to make a sting for it. This is a hard hat. Very, very good. And like I said, we're not all negative here. We did a ranking of where the rebuilds were at last week, but there's one that I want to look at this week, which is, West Coast, they are dominating at the moment. They are A+ at the moment for their rebuild. And I wanted to ask you this question, and this is, we're looking at Essendon, right? Now, we've seen that West Coast kind of have a blueprint. What does Essendon need to do to move towards the direction of a good rebuild?
Completely bottom out for 3 to 4 years.
The Zach Merritt trade that never happened might haunt them.
100%. That's going to cost them, but I also think they need lots of good young talent.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got a few experienced guys who I guess can guide these younger players, but the younger players aren't really superstars.
No, they're not. I mean, they've got players that, like Nate Caddy's a superstar.
Yeah.
And that's it. No, I'm not going to say. Isaac Kako, they got players that could take that next jump.
Yeah.
But I think you need, like, you got Sharpie and then Sully Roby. I don't know if you saw his VFL performance, had 4 goals, and that's an incredible first game.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just on West Coast compared to Essendon, like, look at West Coast's 18 to 21-year-old talent.
Yeah.
And they're just levels above where Essendon's are. And some of the Essendon guys have been there a few years.
Yeah.
So, like, Dersma from West Coast has shown a lot. We've talked about him last week. Job Shanahan,
best hands I've ever seen from a young player coming through. That mark that he took against Port Adelaide, Kane Farrell torped the ball, and Kane Farrell's got a big kick on him, and there was so many in the pack, and he just came out with them. That was the game-saving mark.
And he's gone behind the ball. Like, that's such a valuable thing to have. Like, a lot of good forwards have had that over the years.
Jeremy Cameron used to do that. Like, the superstars in the game, the coach trusts you to go, hey, we need you to save the game here. And that's exactly what he did.
They've got a lot of young players.
Dersma.
Yeah, I know.
There's a Dacos glaze, but there's now the Dersma glaze, which I love. I love Willem Dersma. He's an absolute legend. Like, the way he plays the game just is so gracious, the way he moves. Silky, and he takes marks, man.
Yeah.
I love midfielders that take marks.
Yeah.
Like Nat Fyfe, you said.
It's almost a dying art.
It is. Nat Fyfe was the last one that I remember overhead used to be like, bang, takes a mark. You said, I compared him to Bont.
Yeah.
And I agree with your comparison in a sense that Dersma in the air is like Fyfe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Imagine that. In the air like Fyfe, on the ground like Bont. Oh, my God.
And he'll grow into that body.
The funny thing is I saw Tay Little, shout out to her. Incredible at what she does. She posted this meme. She's like, the Simpsons one where they hold the barbecue, where Homer, he goes, that's one fine-looking barbecue. Why doesn't mine look like that? And it was literally comparing the West Coast rebuild to, I think, Essendon's.
Yeah. And
it was just hilarious. And I'm like, idea, rebuild review.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at what Essendon need to do.
Just on my comment earlier about bottoming out, allowing yourself to get the pick 1, pick 2, pick 3. I'm not saying West Coast tanked in any way.
But you can like fast track that by trading some of your experienced players. Get rid of Parrish while he's got some currency. You know what I mean? He's not. Is he a part of your next finals win?
Yeah.
We know there's a long time between that.
Who would take him?
You would almost get rid of him for a second rounder at this point.
Yeah.
Second, third. I don't know. Just get him off your books.
Yeah.
I would say. Get him off your books. Get something there for him.
Yeah, they really need young picks, and they really need to, I would say, almost restart the rebuild.
Essendon missed a trick here because Zach Merritt's going to be a year older, and there's going to be more players on the market for Hawthorn to have a look at. Who knows what Hawthorn's needs are going to be? Like, they're still going to be after a midfielder, but it might not be the Zach Merritt mold. So what you could have got for Zach, probably halves, I would say.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating topic.
During the off-season, it's going to be very interesting because we're going to start looking at it and being like, what could have been and what they missed out on. But yeah, I don't think necessarily they need to bottom out for 3 years. They're just going to be smart with the way they trade for picks.
For sure.
Like Richmond did it. Richmond doesn't need to bottom out for so many years. They just went hard at 2 drafts. One thing that caught my eye, though, speaking of Dersma, the Essendon and stuff as well, the Essendon posted with the brothers because they played against each other. Zane Dersma had a really good game, 3 goals. And the X-Man, he's playing as well, doing a pretty good job. And they posted a photo together, and in the comments, did you see this?
I did.
Willem Dersma's like, my little bros.
He's a little bro.
And if anyone doesn't know, Willem is the youngest one. So the amount of aura from just commenting that it's hilarious, right?
Yeah. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
Awesome on the field, awesome off the field.
Yeah.
Building his social profile.
Yeah.
But like seamlessly, just chill, get through. Like, yeah.
Such a cool dude. I love Willem. And Willem, if you're out there, if you're a listener of the pod, could be a slight chance he might be.
He did see our last clip.
Did he?
Yeah, he sent me a message.
Did he actually?
He follows me, so.
He sent you a message?
Yeah, he follows me.
Did he get around it?
He follows me, man. So,
oh, Willem.
Willem loves us.
And we love Willem. Maybe
So,
we get him on at one point.
yeah, I'll give him a call.
His royalty. Really, that's a big name drop. Here I am trying to get bloody calls out of Mitch.
I don't
Step
know.
aside, Mitch Cleary.
I could try Willem, but I've never actually spoken with him. Like,
Yeah, that's all right. We can. We'll slide into his DMs. But that's enough for the rebuild review.
Yep.
It's probably a good. Jesus. It's probably a good segue. I almost knocked that camera out as well. All right, this is a great segue into West Coast. I mean, we talked about the young kids. We don't need to talk about them anymore.
Oh, we can talk about CDT, Cooper
CDT
Duff Titler.
Titler, yeah, incredible.
I love the way, as a giant,
Yeah.
the way he moves,
Yeah.
the way he's good at ground level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of their young talent. We talked last week about where we're ranking all these teams.
Do they
down
move
the
up the list
bottom.
now?
I'm going to move them up
To number one?
I'm to number one.
You can do the number one.
It was North Melbourne, right?
North Melbourne, yeah.
That I had above, and
Yeah.
obviously they had a decent win.
But they're blood wipers.
But they're blood wipers. They're filthy. They're muggles.
Filthy. They're mongrels. We don't like that.
I said muggles, like
Muggles.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, yeah, very
just-
good. Good reference.
Or Mudblood. That's a good one. That's what I was trying to find. Mudblood.
Mudblood, that's it.
Would have worked
Nice.
way better, but
Number one.
Eagles. It's funny. It only took 1 week in footy
Yeah.
for me to change my
Because
mind.
last week
but-
you said, I'm not jumping on this hype train. It's
no,
one game.
but I had them at 2, where
Yeah.
at the start of the year I could see them winning maybe 5 or 6
Yeah.
games. I think
They
they're on
woke up
track.
and they got the job done against Port, in Port. We know
Yeah.
how hostile it is. Just ask Trent Cotchin when he won
Yeah.
the toss and decided to kick the wrong way. But anyway, that was a long time ago. But yes, incredible to have an away win like that against a team that's been at the pointy end of the ladder is pretty good. Like, I mean, Port Adelaide rebuilding and they had a few out, but still a great win.
You know what I thought pre-game, and this is maybe me glazing Milan Murdoch a bit too much,
Oh,
but
Milan.
I love the way he goes about it. And knowing that he wasn't playing, I feel like he's the barometer for their energy,
Yeah.
their tackling pressure, and not having him there playing, I thought would really be detrimental. However, they proved me wrong.
Yeah.
He was actually in Adelaide for the game, travelled with the team as
Yeah.
the hype man.
Yeah.
And
Tone setter.
it worked. So, although I'm a Fremantle supporter, I'm thrilled to see West Coast
Yeah.
making inbounds.
They're good. And the way they're doing it, you've got Reed also, like I said, tone setter. He went straight at the head of the snake, which is Zach Butters. And I felt like Zach Butters, every time he went near the ball, got smashed.
Yeah.
And that was because Harley Reid has found a way to do it in a way where he doesn't give free kicks away. He toes that line so well. And I think they're ready. They look like a team that could play finals. Not now, but I'm saying like in years to come, they're developing this identity where they play hard-nosed football, but then they've got like match winners like Willem Dersma. I can see Willem Dersma doing some crazy things at the MCG when the game is on the line. And they all did this 9:30 Western Australian time. Wake
Super
up,
early.
get the job done, and Port, you just can't lose those games. Doesn't matter who you're missing, you can't lose those games.
It's an embarrassing defeat for
It's
them.
embarrassing. I mean, David Koch said, we don't believe in the R word, rebuild. Well, guess what? We do.
Yeah.
We-
they might have to be put in that
Rebuild
rebuild
review.
You know how we had those 4 teams that were
Yeah.
the worst? Oh, it's a bit early, but they might slide
They
down
might
into
slide.
that.
I reckon they're in the bottom 5 teams.
Once they lose Butters, because I reckon he'll go.
But they need to just try and get his draft picks. Good thing about Port Adelaide,
Yeah,
I would
true.
say, is that they've got, I think, all these academy players coming through. So, it's a bit of a hold on them to see what
Yeah.
happens. Anyway, now let's move on to probably the game of the round.
Da da da
Da-da.
da da.
Mate. This needs to be studied. But before we study that, let's study Melbourne's aura points leading into the game with the casual clothes wear. It was incredible.
It was elite.
And I know we haven't got into the buy, sell, hold yet, but I'm definitely buying this. I love it. One thing I noticed is that they didn't have any big brands on their clothing attire.
That's correct. There was a lot of Louis Vuitton bags.
Yeah,
But apart from that, the clothing was very
generic.
yes.
Yeah.
Do you reckon that's
I think
a
that
message?
was it. I think they were probably told because the biggest issue at the moment with this is that you can't go too crazy because you're essentially just advertising.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine there's some cool.
The AFL would be a bit.
The AFL will be like, no, you can't. So I saw, Max Gawn wearing almost like a muscle top,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was just no brand. Same with CJ, no brand. He had the Louis Vuitton bag.
yeah, a
but
few of them did. Now I'm wondering because I saw 3 or 4 of the exact same bag.
do you reckon it's the same bag that was used?
No. I reckon like are Louis Vuitton sponsoring the AFL in any way? Like, is
Nah,
that an
there's no-
agreement?
I don't think there is. AFL.
Well, so they all just had the same bag. Imagine
Yeah.
them on a night out. They were wearing the same
No,
one.
I reckon they just passed it along
All
to
right,
do it.
okay.
Because Seven had teed this up
Yeah.
with the Melbourne Football Club for quite some time.
Yeah.
And this is a great opportunity. And they got it. Hopefully it happens more. Max Gawn said, we just need to start games better
Yeah, true.
for this to continue to happen. I mean, it almost looked like egg on their face because after the first, I think they were 44-2 down.
Yeah, it was like 43 down at the
43
yeah.
down. And then they're like, we're not doing this.
Yeah. Well, I was really scared for them, and
Yeah.
I guess that idea to flourish because they needed to do something. But I was
Shit
under
start.
I was under the impression in the preseason, I thought something came out that
I thought
teams were allowed to
maybe
come out and do
this
casual
is
clothes.
the point where they're like, yep, now we're going to
Yeah.
see maybe the doggies do it if they play like on a Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday night. I think it just comes down to how the broadcasters want to show it as well.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is like, the taunting rule. Now, I don't know where the taunting rule sits because obviously, is it because Pat Voss did the cry thing?
That's where it is.
Not
yeah.
the rubbing of the head?
Well, that is now. Is it? Oh, they announced something. It's either a free kick or like a week suspension or something.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed
it's a
was
free kick,
Tholstrup was tagging, and I don't agree with this. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm happy. Let the boys play. But I'm just saying, by the letter of the law, Paddy Cripps is getting tagged by Tholstrup, and he, Cripps big contest wins it, kicks a goal, and Tholstrup's on the ground and he pushes him, and he gets stuck into him. I thought there's an element of taunting in that. That can be penalised. Now, Paddy Cripps is never going to happen because he's, royalty.
Yeah.
Right? But maybe, just looking at the letter of the law, does that be classified as taunting?
It's blurred lines, isn't it? Like whenever they change a rule during the season, there's always teething problems. So I think they'll have to iron that out. And me loving the theatre of the game, like I think taunting should be allowed, but Voss overstepped the mark. But for what like Cripps did, I feel like it should be allowed. I don't love pushing someone when they're already down.
I think so. I don't like that either, but I don't mind it because Tholstrup copped it on the chin pretty well, and he's like, "Yep, I'm tagging this guy. I'm here to stop him from, getting the ball. He's essentially kicked a goal." And Cripps is a good bloke, which is weird. Where Vossy, I'm not saying Vossy's a bad bloke, but Vossy.
What are you trying to say, man?
Nah, I think Vossy's he's an energizer bunny, but Cripps has got that reputation of being well liked around the league. So he's just a competitor. So I think that played well for him. But
Bring back the taunt.
after all this, bring back the taunt. But let's get to what we really want to talk about is the destruction.
Yeah.
And the self-destruction, which is basically the destruction is...
Can we vote on this?
Yeah. What do you think?
Self-destruction.
I think destruction because what Kasai Pickett did in that second half was phenomenal. 16 possessions, and there was a bit where he gave a handball off and Zach Williams tried to give a little bit of a smother, or not a smother, but like a bit of a shepherd, and Pickett just went,
It was
all
incredible.
Right, I'm going here, and then Zach Williams came off second best.
That was almost moment of the game for me because it was half a second he had to tap the ball and brace. And crunched him.
And Williams was having an incredible game at that point. And, it's sad because he's always got a lot of injury issues and stuff like that. But Pickett actually let him know too. So I'm not sure what was being said because Pickett was very vocal. And I think he was the barometer. Then this is where I reckon it was playing into the destruction.
Yeah.
Because he was going, get on my back. I'm going to get on Sam Walsh. He tackled Sam Walsh late in the game and he just went, fucking ball. Did you see when he said that? Yeah. And I love that. He was talking shit. He was doing things.
That's the taunting that's good.
I love that. I love that so much because he's like, I'm him.
Now, what was really interesting to me in that game was Pickett's first half turnover every single time he had the ball. And Dad and I were watching going, this is a guy who can break the game open, win the game for them. Like you said, he's the barometer, but he keeps missing the target like the rest of the team were as well. I'm not trying to single him out, but the turnaround...
No, you're singling him out.
An example.
Yes,
but the turnaround from him from half one to half two was incredible.
And
that last quarter was, one of the best ones we've seen this season.
For Melbourne, they would cherish that. If I'm a Melbourne supporter, I'm having that, saving that. Ready to watch that whenever I feel down.
Yeah. And me being a Carlton
disliker. You're a hater. You're a hate watcher.
I don't want to be too hard
hate
like
watcher.
that wise.
Hate watcher.
But watching, this is going to sound so bad, watching them just crumble and fall apart and like the fans they went from so happy, like jubilation, and then knowing, oh no, we've seen this story, this movie before, and then just the life gets sucked out of them, the soul get ripped from them. You nearly brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, you can't say that. That's so mean. But you know what? Dan does footy, does this to himself because he rides the highs and lows to the point where people go, you've now eclipsed Collingwood in a sense of we want to see you just choke.
Yeah, true.
Well, Collingwood has that same thing. Don't get me wrong. When Collingwood choke, everyone wins.
Yeah.
Carlton is getting to that point because of kind of what Dan is creating.
Yeah, true.
Because Dan's just he's like obnoxious a bit and he's just going, and it's his shtick. I love it, but it's like he's created this. And this is probably why Carlton's trying to distance themselves from him because they're like, fuck, man. We just want people to like us. Like,
I was really worried, like walking into the game, just out the front of the stadium, Druzy, who you know.
Love Druzy.
He was
Shout out.
asking some questions to all the supporters.
Oh, risky business.
And this one was, and
Were you filming?
I took part in this. No. I entered. I actually just bumped into him.
Yeah.
And he asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, okay.
And it was, which team has better young talent or will win a premiership first, Carlton or D's?
Yeah.
And obviously, I just said D's straight away.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Then tried on the go to just rationalise why I said it and just try and make some things up and sound good. And then I backed them up so hard, and then they were down by 43 early, and I was like, this is so bad. I'm going to get hated so poor.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about it at halftime, and I was just like, I said to Dad, like, what happened and what I'm feeling, and he was like, oh, gee, they better turn it on now. And they turned it on. And the relief I felt with all the joy that I felt was like, oh man, it was awesome.
It was awesome. And that was massive. The fade out needs to be studied. It reminds me of the meme of, where that guy's got the peace sign and he just disappears.
Yeah.
That's what's Carlton at the moment. The amount of memes there. I had John Cena when he's like, you want some? Come get. And then obviously he's tapping out in his last matches. Like that, Carlton, they're at the moment, it's rough for Vossy. I don't know who would rather be, Vossy or Brad Scott, because it is tough. We should try to figure out who's going to go first, because at some point we're all going to die. I don't mean die. I mean like as sacked as a coach. But that was just quoting Brad Scott's words there.
Yeah, no.
You knew exactly what I was saying, right?
I knew exactly, but I was also trying to figure out the answer to the question you just asked.
Right.
It's really tough.
It's tough. I think
Let's throw it out to the listeners.
Let's throw it out to the listeners. Who lasts longer, Brad Scott or Michael Voss? I struggled to say his name then because I'm like a bit nervous for him.
Yeah.
I am actually really nervous because I think he gets a little bit of a reprieve this week. But if they lose to North Melbourne, I don't know if he lasts past this week.
So it's probably Voss.
If they lose to North Melbourne, I don't think they will with Xerri out.
Yeah.
I don't think that's massive. You can't lose to North Melbourne with that, right? But Brad Scott, I think Brad Scott, because the expectations are very low and considering what happened with the club, I just think it's just hard to just get rid of him.
Yeah.
Let him see the year out. Essendon supporters are expecting nothing. Like, they're not expecting anything.
That's true.
Yeah, where Carlton, they're like, we want to compete.
Yeah.
We're losing games. We're in front by 40 points. It happened to Melbourne when your team blows the lead like that.
Yeah.
Goody knows. Ask Simon Goodwin. He knows.
I've just got something here from an Essendon supporter, one of my mates. I sent him this, footy finds. They do like all the retro stuff.
Shout out footy finds.
So that's a nice Essendon piece. And I just sent it to him and I said, this is elite. Should be cheap too because they're shit right now.
You're just a certified hater.
And he goes, that's so tough. Coolest bit of toilet paper I've ever seen.
I can't say that.
And then he goes, but nah, for real, if they weren't an absolute disgrace, I'd cop.
Yeah. Nah, that's rough by that man. But that is a man that is suffering a little bit.
Yeah.
Needs a little bit of therapy.
Tough
times, and probably had tough times throughout his whole life.
Yeah.
Dare I say, he's in his 20s? Yep. So he'd be,
definitely.
Yeah, so it's tough. He probably doesn't even remember the last time they won a final.
Doesn't. No.
Yeah, exactly. So rough times, but you know what? Invest now because it's going to be worth something at some point in your life, you'd think. You'd hope so. But let's move on to buy, sell, and hold, Jamo. And what I'm going to be buying is Sunday footy finishing at the G. Get rid of the graveyard shift, have a 3:20 game, and have it at the G and make it like competitive. Like Carlton, Melbourne, it's not box office, but you know it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good way to finish off. You're like, all right, I've seen a great game, great for content, and at least we get our Sunday night.
I like it. I'm big on it.
You big on it? You like that?
Why not?
I don't want to see a 6:20 game in Western Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
Give me more 9:20 games in Western Australia.
I'm just trying to think of the logistics, and then that means we get more Saturday or Friday. Sick.
Yeah, because technically, what would have happened in years past is Port Adelaide would have played West Coast, and it would have been a twilight game. But they just decided to go, you know what? We are catering to our eastern states, basically, to say, nah, you're playing at 12. We're getting a 3:20 game here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm buying.
I am wearing binoculars at the footy. It's full steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. We love it. We love it. We're looking for a sponsor too.
We are a binoculars sponsor.
Yep.
We call them Nocs. Just sounds cooler.
Get your Nocs out.
Is
that too crude?
yeah.
All right,
Knock,
knock. What about
too
knock,
deep,
knock?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's too deep. I blame you for thinking like that. I say get the
fair
Nocs
enough.
out.
I do think like that.
Get the dogs out. When you go barefoot on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's nothing wrong about that. Get the Nocs out.
But just on the binoculars, as I have mentioned on the show. No, you won't.
Yeah.
Let's fight. No, with the binoculars, I've mentioned it the last couple of episodes. I'm really passionate about it. And seeing the community get amongst it a little bit was very cool. So if you have binoculars, buy binoculars, wear them at the footy, whack it on your Instagram story, and I'll show you some love. I
Yeah.
don't know if that means anything to you, but to me, it means the world.
Maybe we'll just hit up a sponsor, see what we can do, and then the best Nocs that we see, the best photos, there might be something that we can send out. Who knows? We just want to get this movement going because
do.
when you recorded the vision from the binoculars, it looks sick.
Yep, and that's really distorted one eye only. So what
One
you
eye.
saw is not what you see.
Yeah, because you can get both, right?
You get
It's just there,
both.
yeah.
It connects with both of your
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
And then you got 8K quality, like I always
You
mention.
love your 8K quality, yeah. Imagine you had that to see what Tristan Xerri was doing. You're like,
Exactly. See, if
Yeah.
I was at that game, I could tell you every single
blood
little detail.
or no blood.
Yep.
Yep.
And apparently there are binoculars that can now record as well.
You're joking.
Game changer.
Game
So imagine
changer.
you're looking and you're like, holy shit, record. He's just white blood on him. Bang. Send it off to the AFL. Awesome.
You're joking, really?
There are.
They'd be so expensive,
They
though.
would be, yeah.
Yeah. It's like an iPhone when you've got that 50 times zoom.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my last final message for my buy this week is that I want to try and get a player in the AFL to kick a goal and do a binoculars celebration.
That's huge.
The Nocs.
That's huge.
Now,
The
you can do
Nocs.
any variation of this, whether it's just
Crouch
that,
down.
crouch down. You
Yeah.
can
Maybe
do
Willem.
that.
Maybe Willem.
Oh, if we got Willem to do it,
Willem,
it'd break
this
the
is,
internet.
we're going to put that out there because we love Willem. We're Willem's #1 fan club.
Yeah,
I reckon when Willem comes down here, let's try and make an effort to get there.
get him on.
Get
Or-
right
or
around
go to
it.
the game.
Go
as
to the
well.
game.
Yep.
Go to the game. If he can come on, he's a very busy man. But we'll get him there. I know Jabra, friend of the pod.
Yep.
Loves it. Big fan of Willem. They're both very tight, according to Jabra.
Yeah.
But yes, we'd love to get Willem do one of these ones.
It'd be unreal.
It'll be unreal.
Or even anyone that Willem's
Anyone,
obviously
any-
number one.
yeah, number
but,
one,
But if we
yeah.
could get,
Yeah.
imagine a Dacos doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
But imagine it becomes a West Coast. I'm really on West Coast at the moment.
Yeah, so am I.
Like,
it feels so wrong.
It's so wrong. You're a Freo supporter. So
Yeah.
nah, I love that. I love that, and let's do it.
What are you selling?
I am selling. This is a tough one because the umpires are something that's been on my mind for a little while, right?
You're punching down on them every episode.
Well, I wouldn't say punching down. Okay, I understand. Like, I understand. Now, stand. That's the thing. that
I like it.
No, we haven't spoken about it because I purposely left this out because I didn't want to be an umpire hater
Yeah.
because I know it's a tough job. They're not full time, and they can
I
only.
think that's a huge issue.
That's a huge issue.
Yeah.
But the stand rule itself is a big problem at the moment, I think, is because the way they're adjudicating at the moment is when transition play comes out, and Craig McRae said this isn't my Collingwood one-eye supporter coming out, but it's just more about the way the game works. So a 50-metre penalty was awarded to GWS, and this has happened quite regularly. Now, Collingwood, generally, we press up really high, so we get, when the transition footy comes along, usually the ball goes through the middle. What happens is if a player takes a mark in the middle, right, Jamo, let's say you've taken a mark.
Yep, got it.
Right, got it? As soon as the umpire yells stand, you have to stand. Now, that's the new interpretation of this rule. Doesn't matter where you are. If you're within 5 metres of that player that's taken that mark, you need to stand. Now, the issue with this is it looks ridiculous when the player stands. Let's say I've taken the mark here and the player was trailing behind me. He's behind me. Essentially, he has to stand there. He can't move while I've got the ball. And that's just that's not footy.
No.
It's like netball. That's where I get confused because momentum is telling that player that he needs to get on the mark and he needs to be there, not stand behind. Because that's what they do in rugby league. That's what they do in netball. If a player is offside, they have to stay there. And I don't think this is something we need to be adding to our game. Our game is so quick that this is such a grey area. It's not great for the game and it's going to cause more issues. At the moment, we're at the early stages and I've already seen it because I'm watching it like a hawk. But it's going to happen in a game where it's not Collingwood and people are going to be pissed.
Yeah.
At Collingwood, people don't care, whatever. But it's going to affect the game. There's going to be 50-metre penalties awarded where it shouldn't be.
I agree. No, I'm really, really passionate about this stand rule, and I get so worked up and angry about it, and I should just calm down. But anyway,
I'll get an umpire on next time. I know a few umpires,
Yeah.
and I'll get them to explain this and how they interpret it. Because, like I said, this is nothing against the umpires. I think the umpires do I think the umpires do such an amazing job because, and like people will be like, oh, what the fuck, the umpires? I'm like, no, it's not the umpires. Let's not blame the umpires. Let's blame some of these rules that are out there.
The rules they're having to follow.
Yeah, it's impossible to interpret. It's like when you keep changing them, when you keep adding things to them, when you keep giving them direction, it's awful. So I'd love to get an umpire on and just like get clarification on how they think and like maybe the struggles that they have.
Yeah, for sure.
What are you holding? Selling. Sorry. What are you selling?
Buy rounds, hate them so much.
Yep.
And in a week's time, I'll be smiling when they're done.
They're done.
They come back, obviously. We've got 4 more rounds.
I'm back again. Yeah. Oh, gather round. Yeah, let's gather round, everyone. Everyone gather round. And then it's like, hello, buy rounds.
And we need a break now.
Yeah, we need fucking buy rounds.
I just wish it was back to traditional ways and it's just everyone can have a buy the same week or something.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, let everyone just enjoy a weekend without footy and go away on a trip or something.
Yeah, rather than just being like some can, some can't. Sucks. Fuck you, buy around.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
That's what I'm selling. And that's all I wanted to say about it.
Well, I'm holding, again, to the adjudication of the rules, I'm holding this because I'm not sure where it's going to go. It's the review of the out of bounds decisions where I think the idea of getting the correct decision is always good. How it looks practically, I'm questioning that. How quickly they can execute a review, like Tom Atkins showed, if he moves on quickly, you can't execute. But I'm holding it because I don't want to be too harsh on this. I don't want to be too critical of this because what the AFL are trying to do is get the right decision. So you've got to always give, the benefit of the doubt to, hey, they're trying to get the right decision here. Give it time, but I have my doubts.
It's a good hold because it's a very wait and see. We just need to wait and see what they do with it.
What are you holding?
The Giants.
The Giants?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of them at full strength. Obviously, injury riddled at the moment. Are they done for the season? When they get them all back, I think they'll be coming like a steam train. But at the moment, they're sitting 4th last, 16th.
Yeah, I'd hate to be...
Sorry.
Yeah,
14th. I'm thinking Tassie and Northern Territory are in. But yeah, they've got a heap of critical players that aren't playing that. And even on the weekend, on Friday, they didn't have Sam Taylor and Jack Buckley. And their defensive stocks, apart from that, are pretty average. So when they get those guys back, can they make a late charge? I'm putting a hold on them. I want to see them, make a late charge and potentially finish in that, 8 to 10 range, or maybe they'll even supersede that. We'll see.
I'd hate to be Kingsley's stress ball at the moment because he looks like an angry man in the box. Every week it's just, he was lucky when he came into the team. They climbed up the ladder pretty quickly. The Leon Cameron era, we forgot about that. It's a Kingsley era and they were playing finals football. And then all of a sudden now is when you get to see the team tested and you're seeing this man get real angry in there. So I'm a hold on them. I want to see their players back.
Yeah.
Keep trolling, Giants. I know I'm critical of you, but just keep trolling. You are who you are. The Giants cult.
We'll stick to it. The Gainer effect, like he created the culture.
Yeah.
And don't leave it behind.
Yeah. Fuel to the fire. What are you looking forward to in the next couple of weeks? You got gather around. What's something before we finish off? What are you looking forward to?
Gather round. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going. You are?
Yeah, I will be there. Excited. Very excited. It's chaotic, but we love it. And hopefully we see some... I'll be taking some binoculars. I'm going to get my hands on some binoculars. And
And our teams go head to head in gather round.
Yep. Friday night, Blockbuster. So hopefully try and snag some tickets to that and head there. And you'll be getting a few voice notes, voice calls. Likewise. And you can play them all here in the podcast because we're all about that.
We are.
We're not old man media, even though we got Mitch on there. We love Mitch. Yeah. He's not old, he's young. But I appreciate that. That was it's going to be good. That's going to be really big.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to just getting away from the Melbourne bubble. I think sometimes it can feel like MCG, Marvel Stadium, footy here.
That's all it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's all it is. And when you go to Adelaide, you realise how beautiful it is there. And it feels like a footy carnival. And I missed out last year and I went the first 2 years and I really enjoyed it. The first year was amazing. Obviously, nothing's as good as the first year. You can't replicate that. Yeah. But just being away from Melbourne and watching the football, seeing the Adelaide Oval, love that.
Awesome.
So keen to see that. Excited for that. Yeah. And excited to see Sammy, who will be doing a fitness test soon, come back on. Be huge. We're going to do a 3-man pod. 3-man weave.
It'll be great.
3-man weave, baby.
Can't wait.
But appreciate that, guys. And remember, Like, subscribe, leave a rating. Doesn't matter if it's positive, negative.
It does.
We love it.
No, it does. Even if you hate the show,
Okay,
leave
I'm
a
sorry.
5-star review, then DM me and tell me to fuck off. I'll take a better review and a hate message.
Yeah, he's an experienced campaigner. He
Yeah.
knows that. So actually leave the positive stuff. But if you really want to say the hateful stuff, find our Instagrams and let us know. Appreciate that, guys. See you next week.
So yeah.